So let's start with a stone. You can, of course, build belts without a stone, but that doesn't really make too much sense. So we'll go ahead and build a stone. And I'm just going to start with a nice big round diamond. And we'll do 2 carats. And of course, you can play with different sizes and shapes of stones. We're going to select the stone. That way, when we launch the belt tool, they'll automatically be associated to the stone. Okay, so the first tab is where we associate the shape and size. Because we choose the existing stone, it's already plugged in. You can also adjust the position and the height here and deviate from the shape. But we'll stick to the defaults for now. We'll come back to this tab if we need to make adjustments later. So then we have 2 other tabs. You have the top belt and the bottom belt. So starting with the top belt, we have some basic options, the section parameters and the size. Very simple. I'm going to go with, well, you can do round, rectangle, or custom. Round, of course, you can change the thickness to whatever size you want. Rectangle, you can make it a rectangular shape. You can also angle it. So with this arrow here, we can adjust the angle, or you can type in the angle manually. I don't like to use the rectangle because it has sharp edges, so I would rather use the custom. With custom, you can draw your own shape and choose it here, or you can use one from the library. So if I go in the library, we have a rail section under 2D symbols, tons of different belt shapes that you can use. So again, if I am doing a rectangle, I'll use square that already has the fillet built in. And then we can adjust the size. If you want to adjust the size into more of a rectangle shape, turn off the keep ratio. I'll do a 1 millimeter by 1.5. And then we see now that we've resized the belt, it's sticking into the stone here. So we're going to go back to the shape tab, and we can use the transform gizmo here to now adjust the height more appropriate. And I just move it down until you see that overlap disappear. So we've got our top belt. Now the bottom belt, we can make a different shape or we can keep the same. We'll go and adjust those settings here in the 3rd tab. So the first thing we have is the modify bottom profile. So this is nice if you wanted a different shape for the bottom belt. That'll allow me to choose a different shape. So you can mix and match. I'm going to stick to keeping it the same shape, so I'll turn that back off. Then you have this green arrow here, which is the height of the bottom belt or the space between the gallery. So we can adjust how far down it goes, either numerically or manually. You can then adjust the angle. It's this red bottom arrow here. So if we put it at 0, it'll be the same size as the top belt, or we can angle it out or in. This is basically the overall angle of your setting, which will adjust the size of your bottom belt. Okay. Then we choose the section parameters just like we did in the top belt. So you have round, rectangle, or custom. I'm going to go ahead and choose the same rail that I did for the first one, the square number 2, and turn off the ratio. And I'll make this one just a little bit smaller. We'll do 1 by 1.25. And again, there is an angle if you want to angle it. And then there's one more special option you have for the bottom belt that you don't have in the top belt, and that is the U or V bending. So right now it's on normal. If I do U, it's going to bend it along the U direction. So from the front view of my ring, we can angle it or deform it that direction. The V, which would be from a side view, deforming it this direction, or you can do both the U and the V. This is going to give it more of a dome shape, like a bidirectional bend. Okay. So for now, I'll stick to normal. And that's it. We validate and we'll have our belt set up. Now there's a few more things to look at here. Of course, you can choose your material, your anchor element. You also have the create single surface option. Just like in your sweeping and other tools, this is going to give you a single surface. This makes it great for if you're going to modify these in 3Shaper. You also have the merge option. Merging is not a Boolean add, but when you merge, instead of a group when you validate, it will be counted as a single item instead of a group. So it's not a Boolean add, it's just a merge. So once your belts are finished, you can then go on and add claws or do whatever you want with them. I do want to talk about if you want to use a single belt. So I'm going to delete, just hide these for now. And we'll do a new belt here. And we'll take a look. Usually if I'm doing a single belt, you have the option of turning off the top or the bottom belt. I usually turn off the top belt. That way if I want to use those extra options in the bottom belt, I can do so. So I'll do a custom shape. And again, in Rails, I think I like this cornered one here. So we'll do corner to left. There's two options in case it comes in backwards. You can choose the other option. That way I have a little seat built in. So maybe I'm going to do an under bezel or something for this stone. Okay, so from here we can adjust the shape and size. I'm going to go with a nice tall belt here for like an under bezel. And adjust the thickness as well. And then we can adjust the height right here. Since we're using the bottom belt, we can do that instead of having to go back to the first tab. So we've got our nice little seat. And validate. So you can definitely make single belts with this tool as well. So we'll see in the next video with claws, and we'll show you how to attach claws to this to make a full prong setting.